Welcome to Property Management 101, a short series where I take you on site to my personal rental properties to give you invaluable tips when it comes to property investments, including renovations, finding tenants, curb appeal, and so much more. I'm Ryan G. Wright, and I am the CEO of The Investor's Edge, where we help you make money with real estate investments. We are heading to one of my rental properties. The tenant that was in there just destroyed the property. It smelled horrible. I'm sorry to those that are smokers, but I'm telling you, it can absolutely destroy a property. So we had a couple of choices. We could do just a very basic remodel, or we could do a little bit more of a high-end remodel and trying to attract an even better tenant than we normally would. I'm not talking like the Ritz-Carlton, right? But I'm talking about just a little bit nicer than your basic. So we did that. Now what's been happening is we've been putting it for rent. Probably had 10 people come take a look at the property. So we're getting a little bit discouraged because we put quite a bit of money into the property planning on getting a higher tenant. We originally thought we'd get about $2,500 a month in rent. But we put it on for that and just did not get the type of tenants that we want. I've been saying type of tenants a lot, so let me explain what I mean. We are going after great quality tenants, not just somebody that's going to pay the bills, but somebody's going to pay the bill, take care of the property, be there, let us know, not bug us in the middle of the night. To do that, what we do is we under rent our properties. So if market rent in the area is going to be $2,500 a month, we're going to rent our property for about $2,400 a month, which is going to do two things. One, you're going to get a ton of applications, and most of them aren't going to be the applications you're going to want to rent to. And the second thing that happens is you get people that want a good deal, that are responsible, take care of the property and those things. And typically you can keep that person in the property by continuing to have just a little bit less in rent. Okay, this is the place. All right, one of the reasons why we like to go after the better tenants is you don't have to come see the property as much. When we under rent the property by just a little bit, in exchange, we ask the tenant to take care of some things. If the toilet's having an issue, rather than calling a handyman, have them just fix it themselves. Those are some of the things that we like to see them do, and in exchange for doing that, they get a discounted rent, and they typically love the property more and stay there longer. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a toolbox, if you don't have a lawnmower, if you don't have shovels or a snowblower, we don't rent to you. All of that is on our rental application because we don't want somebody that feels like they're going to the Marriott and they can call anytime and ask for room service or ask for the maintenance guy to come up there. We want people that are used to doing those things on their own and they're confident doing it as well. I think first appearances, I'm not like thrilled with the house. Okay, so a couple things for some feedback I'm going to be giving the contractor. I want to make sure this crap comes off. I don't like stuff that looks unclean. I would definitely clean these up. They just look dirty to me, right? The lady that came here, she said that these were unsafe. I mean, I wouldn't go quite that far that they're unsafe, but they definitely need to get tightened. Also, there's a little bit of play in this. So it's obvious to me that this lady was a little picky, but it's good to know some of those things. I do not know what this is. But walking up and seeing this, I don't like. It just looks like trashy. I think it's the best way to say that. I think we need to get a street sign out here on the chain link fence so it's easier to see because we drove right past it and I even own the house. There's just a lot of garbage here. I want to get this garbage cleaned up. I'm not going to attract the right tenant if I've got McDonald's boxes, if I've got garbage and that type of stuff, because the right tenant doesn't live like this, right? Huh. Interesting. Like, I would make sure this thing, we need to get this thing open and closing. Just needs a little bit of TLC. Just looks like nobody cares, you know? Here's some more of the trash. We need all the trash picked up. Trash over here, trash over here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It depends on what type of clientele, what type of tenants you're going after. I want a tenant that's going to take care of the place, make it super nice, live here a long time. That's my number one. We put the subway tiles in. I think the subway tiles turned out excellent. I like, the toilet rod holder did not get installed, as you can see. Looks like it's here, but not installed. I also think it's weird, these are silver instead of the chrome color, or even black. This, you can see a space back here. Honestly, this is the problem you have with most contractors. This is like 95% done, right? 95, but it's not 100% done. It's clean. Okay, so the question is, where do we go from here? I think the remodel was done good, not great. I look at things as C, B, and A quality properties. That property we were just at is probably a B, maybe a B minus. I think it could be a solid B though. And what I mean by that is the quality, I try and stay away from the A plus properties because the A plus properties are so expensive, it's really hard to cash flow on them or to get a good return on investment. However, if you're in the C type properties, you can cash flow really well, but you have a management nightmare. You're getting called all the time, there's problems all the time, you've got to put cheap materials in all the time. And where we find the sweet spot is in the B-Type tenants. So I think what's happened here is we have increased our rent so much, we're getting into a little bit pickier of a clientele base as a tenant. And I don't think that property right now is matching the type of people that we want to have moving in there. So I think a half a day or a full day of work could get that place in ship shape, cleaned up, as well as getting the guy out there for the smoke. You can just barely smell it, just barely. So I think they did a pretty good job. I do think maybe what's happened is they didn't kill the floors, where they put the paint, the deodorizer paint on the floors. I would bet money that didn't happen. So, I mean, this goes back to managing contractors, and there's a 1,000 conversations we could have about that. Managing contractors is not fun.